coming up in this week's episode. It's this like awful thing of you can never give what they're asking for, but were you to ever ask for a tiniest fraction of what they demand, you are the worst human in the world that ever existed. Welcome to The Liberation Effect with me, your host, Helen Villas. Hello everyone and welcome back to The Liberation Effect. Today I'm joined by Scarlett, and Scarlett got in touch having experienced a huge amount of trauma, from escaping a religious cult to moving with her family, loads of neurodiversity, and looking at how to parent after experiencing so much fat phobia, shame, control, all of those things that go along with these systems. And actually, Scarlett, I'm just going to end there and ask you, is that a good enough synopsis? Is that a good enough summary of what's bringing you here today? Is there anything you want to add?
It's pretty good, actually. I would also just include that, like what my past includes, is a lot of purity culture and deep
Okay.
patriarchal values.
Oh, God, gross. Okay.
Yeah, I could almost throw up just thinking about it. But
Yeah, okay. So purity culture, patriarchal values. So what is it that you would like to leave here with today?
I would like to leave with better parenting tools for them, and also being able to regulate myself
Okay,
when I'm working through the issues with her, my youngest
right.
especially.
What
Obviously,
is it? Go on.
well, it affects all of the other siblings as well.
Yeah,
And so it's just made life very interesting
yeah.
trying to cope with all that. And I feel like I'm at my limit with knowledge.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a very left field question,
Okay.
but I think it's going to be really important. Is how are you feeling right now?
At the moment I'm okay.
Okay, you're okay. And is there any kind of fear around what might come up or might come out?
I don't think so.
Good. Okay. Cool. Just wanted to check in and make sure, that you're feeling safe enough in this
Yeah,
situation. Okay. All right. So, how many children altogether then?
4.
4 children.
Yes.
But you mentioned the youngest being the one you're finding
Yeah.
trickiest.
Yes.
So, what is it that you're finding hardest?
So with her, whenever I'm trying to give instruction, and sometimes it could just come off just out of left field to me, something just doesn't
Right.
go quite right for her.
Right. Right.
Like there's like just instantaneous meltdown. Um,
Okay.
like I mean, I could give an example, like a
Yeah,
recent
please do.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it was yesterday.
Okay.
We've had some neighbors who have been, excuse me, kind of, not kind of, like a lot problematic
Uh,
little neighborhood children, and they were friends at one point, and their behavior has just led us to not be able to allow her to be friends with them. Um,
right.
However, our house is really close to theirs, and they're just there. They're out all the time, unsupervised most of the time. It's it,
Right.
it's really difficult, just that. But there had been like an incident over the summer where they had blamed her for something that she didn't do, and it got kind of ugly. And what has resulted from that is her like trying to play outside on her own, but they're there and they'll like taunt her or do something like that. So it has been like just a really difficult situation for her. They've been doing like ding dong dash on my doors.
Oh, okay. You're
And
laughing, but it's not, that feels like
it's,
kind of
well,
bullying from their
a
point of
lot of
view.
they do it a lot of times, like even when it's just me home during the day, and my husband works night shifts, so he's asleep,
Oh,
and there's animals.
they know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing. And
Hmm.
so they had been doing that, and I saw them, and I was going to be like, hey guys, please stop. And she just got so upset because I went out there and spoke to them and said that I was going to make things worse for her.
Right.
And I was trying to explain to her that, like, they're doing this during the day when you're not here, and they've only ever talked to me when they've
Hmm.
been doing this thing. But she, I mean, she just like completely melted down on the fact that I had gone out there and talked to them and didn't think that I was listening. And she actually made, she's probably right in some of it. She made a valid point during this whole
Right.
thing, um,
Right.
that I always center myself when I'm trying to talk to her or discipline her. And and
Okay.
and that actually I know I do.
Okay.
And I don't know
Cool.
how else to handle it.
Okay. Can you kind of role play the conversation for me and what it is that she says is centering you?
So and it's been, like I said, worse lately. And so I
Hmm.
haven't been able to just like calmly just say anything. And so it really was playing
Okay.
on me. And I was just like, I'm actually having a hard time remembering exactly what I was saying, but it was
That's
to the
okay.
effect of like, you're you're allowed to be angry and have an opinion and disagree with me. You can't be rude.
Right.
Because I would not have been allowed to say anything at all.
But what, so where are you centering yourself in that?
Like like telling a story about like my mom wouldn't let me have done that. And you're
Okay. Okay. That bit. So you would have said out loud, I wouldn't have been allowed to say anything at all.
yeah.
Got you. Okay. Yeah, that bit's unnecessary, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
almost what you're saying then is you've got to be grateful I'm allowing you to
Yeah.
say anything.
Yeah.
Mm. And so, okay, so you hear that and you
Yeah.
can say, yeah, hands up. That's me. I'm
Like
doing
I
that.
did it. I was wrong.
Okay, cool. And then how does she receive it?
Not well.
So when you put your hands up and go, yeah, that's valid and I shouldn't have done that. What does she doesn't hear
No,
that
at
bit?
that point she's just so there's no there's very quickly no logicking.
Okay, so she's in fight flight. She's
Yes.
she's triggered
Yeah.
and she's in an active meltdown at this point.
Yeah.
Okay. So we do not do discussions
I
when
know.
somebody's in a meltdown.
I
Like
know.
full stop. There's no point, right? And you're like, I know, I can't, I don't like okay, so no
I feel
point.
like I'm in an active meltdown.
Okay, so you're both having meltdowns. So you're both having meltdowns, but you're the adult. And so you have to be the one to kind of caretake the situation,
Yeah.
right? So in an ideal fantasy world, what would it look like if it were to go well?
In ideal fantasy world, if I told her something, she would agree that I'm right.
Okay, but we can't control other
Right.
people and their reactions.
Well,
So,
one of the other
well,
things I try
go
to
on.
say to her is like try to see more than one perspective. And
Right.
that seems to be something that is impossible.
Because she's also potentially neurodivergent or is diagnosed
She's not diagnosed yet. We're starting that.
in, okay. And the suspicion is what for
I
her?
suspect like ADHD and autism.
Okay. So trying to see the other perspective is going to be more challenging, potentially, because of theory of mind and what have you, and kind of that tunnel vision looking at things. So,
Yeah.
how much of you is getting triggered in that moment as well of your own, like, oh my God, I'd be in so much trouble if I spoke to an adult like that when I was your age?
It's pretty big. There's also,
Okay.
I get really upset that I'm the only parent parenting.
Okay. So what's bringing that about?
So like I said, my husband works third shift, so it leaves me to do all the daytime work. But even in the daytime, like, I mean, before we moved, he was just so unavailable because of our situation and circumstance. But
Okay.
that's also something he has had no therapy. It's
Okay.
something I'm encouraged, but hasn't been taken advantage of or pursued.
Mhm.
And so a lot of times it feels like I'm the only one, excuse me, doing any work or trying.
So you're feeling really alone with the whole thing, unsurprisingly, because let's maybe rewind and go back to how you started your email to me, which, if I just put it up, after going no contact, moving, husband changing careers, and leaving a religious cult. Struggling now / always with body image issues and triggers, especially as it relates to my daughter, and after having been beat over the head with fat phobia for as long as I can remember. So how, when in terms of going no contact, moving, changing careers and leaving the religious cult, four huge things, what time period did that occur over?
So some of it happened a little bit over a shorter amount of time, like he put in his resignation in like 2020. We left
Right.
in 20, or sorry, not 2020, sorry, 2022,
It's
and we
okay.
left in 23.
So
But
within a year,
during
go
that
on.
during that time in 2021 is when I really started like my deconstruction process.
Right.
One of my other children got diagnosed with a very life-changing diagnosis in which I had to
Okay.
quit my job. The
Okay.
place where we were at was beyond financially abusive and controlling.
Okay.
So we were living in the middle of this location that we were like surrounded by these people. And also I was realizing like the full extent of the narcissistic part of my family.
Okay.
And in the last, like we didn't even know where we were moving.
Right.
Like it was like from day to day, I wouldn't know what was happening.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and at the same time, about a month or two before we actually moved is when the no contact happened with my family, which was not
Right.
planned. Um,
Right.
it was
Was it your choice or their choice?
their choice. I
Okay.
like had sent a text, and it's the one time I like really challenged my mom, and it's very short and kind. And the I got like three massive texts back that were classic narcissistic response. And the next time I saw them, my dad just stood there and talked to me like nothing was happening, and my mom, she wouldn't even come in within like 10 feet of me. Like, would leave my
Right.
presence and wouldn't speak to me.
That's not no contact, that's discard. You didn't get a choice in that.
I had been thinking about it, but the choice was, kind of made for me.
Yeah, yeah. So that's horrifically painful. So you had been thinking about it, then you just established a very sort of kind boundary. Your father acted as though nothing had happened, and your mother wouldn't look at you, wouldn't come within 10 feet of you, and that was that.
Yeah,
And they just
yeah.
dropped you from there.
And my brother and sister-in-law and their family. Yeah.
So everyone at once.
Yes.
May I ask what it was that you said that led to them?
Well, my my mom had asked about us, like saying that she couldn't stand not knowing any information, which is her thing.
Right.
And I had said, she was talking, I said, I hadn't, trying to remember.
So this is about your child that's been diagnosed with something,
Well,
was
that
it?
had been
Or
going on, but we were trying to figure out next steps for like moving.
right,
So so my husband was working on finding a job, and we were working at the same time trying to find a house to like buy or whatever.
right.
The house that we had was tied to his job, so once we left, there was
Ah,
nothing. Like we had nothing.
Jesus, that's
And like
scary.
we were
Right, okay.
literally looking at being homeless if
Right,
things didn't work out. And so I don't even know anything, and she's badgering me for information that I don't have, acting like I'm leaving her out
right.
because she really she likes to share information and look like, you
Yeah.
know, whatever,
Information is currency and all that.
that
Yeah.
whole thing. And so I was just like, I haven't said anything and we haven't been around because I just haven't been able to pretend like things are okay when they're not.
Okay.
And that's
And
really all I said. And then she just blasted me because I had been like kind of gradually like go seeing less and less of them.
don't hang on, hang on. Look at you. You're making excuses for them. You're justifying their behavior. She said that she couldn't bear not knowing what was going on, and you responded, "You don't really know what's going on." Is that right? Have I understood that correctly?
Uh, I don't know if I said I didn't really know what's going on. I just said that I haven't been around to like say anything because
Right.
I just couldn't be around them and pretend like everything was okay. She had,
Okay.
yeah,
So there had been anything else when leading up to that then? So because you said you couldn't pretend everything was okay.
yeah.
Had there
Well,
been
there had been some incidents. I kept finding out from my kids things that she had done to them.
right?
And then an issue had happened like at a birthday party where my my brother had like called me and reamed me out and blamed me for my mom crying so much more now because of all these things I was supposedly doing because that's apparently I think they're lying, but whatever I was posting on Facebook supposedly was making them look bad, and people were asking my dad if he had abused me, and I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't said anything that would lead anyone to say that, but apparently they're
Right.
being asked these things at church, and they're playing the
Hmm.
whole woe
Okay.
is me card. And also at the
Right.
same time, like I'm dealing with an illness that has no cure for my son, and
Hmm.
she's talking to my 13-year-old at the time behind my back, trying to tell him that I'm not being a good mother, and that I'm not doing enough for my other son, and all under the guise of a supposed prayer request to a 13-year-old.
Right.
So that had happened. The birthday party had happened where so my they made a big deal out of something that my older daughter had did, which I recently just found out was not. even what it was made out to be. And like then withheld that information from me till a few months later when everyone wanted to spend the night, all the grandkids wanted to go to grandma's house, and spend the night. And all of a sudden, oh, well, I need to talk to you if we're going to do this. Like, there's something.
Right.
I'm just like, what?
So basically, they were getting more and more annoyed with you holding boundaries, saying not giving this information.
Yeah,
They were trying to data mine it from the children,
probably.
inflaming it by suggesting you were putting stuff on Facebook. And was there anything that you posted on Facebook that might have...
So the all what I had been posting was stuff about marriage, like my
Right.
new understanding of non-patriarchal marriage.
Right. Excuse me. Right. So, oh, okay. Oh, they saw themselves in it and didn't like it.
Oh, I'm sure.
Right.
And my
Okay.
mom even asked me about it, and I gave her a very short, true answer. Like, if you want to ask me, like, I'm not hiding anything here. And it wasn't even about parenting. I'm actually I'm so confused about that one because it to me does not make any sense whatsoever. I think they're just making crap up.
Okay. But at the same time, you're leaving the religion. Is that
Mhm.
right? You're questioning the religion.
Yeah.
They're immersed in it.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm just like, you're going through this intensely traumatic experience of, let's just focus on your son and his illness, that you're going
Yes.
through that for a moment.
Yeah.
You're going through that, and instead of kind of being there to support you, to help you, or with your husband's job and moving, houses and things like, instead of again helping and supporting, they just want information. Like, give me the information now.
Yes.
Level of entitlement. And then you said no, essentially, and that I'm not going to sweep everything under the rug
Right.
and pretend everything's cool
Yeah.
when all these things have gone on and you've, apparently had a problem with the one daughter and not shared that until you're meant to be having them overnight. And
Yeah. Yeah.
and then at that point, your dad pretended everything was fine and your mother wouldn't even
Yeah.
look at you.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you obviously did move and you
Yes.
are right, like, because I
Absolutely.
can see you're in a home now, like I can see you in a
Yeah.
room now. So you moved and your husband got this new job and now he's doing the third shift and you are left to do everything
Yeah.
children wise.
Yeah.
Tell me a bit more about that.
Hmm. Not even sure what to say.
It seemed very painful
It is very
when you went.
painful. Um, so I actually get really confused about this a lot because I I see a lot of similarities with him and my dad.
Right, okay.
Like the just not being there emotionally. So the difference has been that he has been able to move away from this whole cult mindset, all
Mm-hmm.
those things like the marriage, like the way marriage works, to be like
Right,
partners and not whatever. Not he was never like an overbearing person ever. Um,
right.
and it was actually very difficult for us to grow through some of that and like to change our mindsets on that.
Yeah,
And so I do see him like doing other things to help grow. and to
Right.
become a better person. It's not that he's just like stagnant.
Okay. But he's not done therapy and
Yeah, he has not done therapy. And I mean, I do feel like I've sacrificed a lot for him, and I don't get it back. I don't get the same support.
okay. So it's all feeling very one-way street at the moment.
Yeah.
And then your youngest comes along and does things that you would have been like God knows what for,
Yeah.
and you're on your own with it.
Yeah.
And so it's feeling very lonely. You're at capacity. Your son's illness, is that, do you mind, we can cut it out if you prefer, but do you mind telling me what it is so that I can
Yeah,
understand kind of the impact?
it's functional neurological disorder. It's rare.
So he's got FND.
Hmm.
How does that impact him? I don't know a huge amount about it. I only know a
Well,
tiny
yeah, and
bit.
it can vary across the board.
Yeah, that's what I
Um,
understand. It's very
yeah.
different
Well,
per
the
person.
primaries for him are when he gets like overly stressed out or triggered, he'll pass out.
Oh,
Yeah.
flip a neck. Okay.
Yeah, like
So things get elevated. Kaboomph.
yeah,
So you're trying to have to try and keep him calm all the time.
all the time. And
Wow.
and then I
Okay.
have
That's hardcore.
I feel like a walking taking time bomb on the other side of it.
So she gets stressed out.
And they clash.
They fight.
Yes.
Is there any part of him that enjoys it?
I don't know. I don't
I just wondered.
he
Like,
again, he's also the one of my ones in therapy that I'm
okay.
also getting diagnosed.
Okay.
Additionally,
Yeah.
I think he's also got some autism in there as well.
Okay. Well, FN and FND would align with that as well, wouldn't it? There'd be a lot of overlaps as
Yeah,
well.
like his other big
Okay.
triggers are just like noise, like so like being out socially, like if it's a loud restaurant or what
Okay.
there's a lot of people. So
Oh,
it's
okay.
it that's why I had to quit my job was because initially for about 9 months he couldn't even leave the house.
Bless you.
So
And when did that transpire? When you were still in contact?
still in contact. We were still on the campus of the school we were living at, school slash
And
religious community. And
right. Okay.
and it was in like September of 2021.
I'm gonna again check something. Are
Yeah.
you filtering so that you're not sharing too much? Is that happening?
Honestly, it's just really hard to keep it all together.
No, I just because I can it feels fragmented is what I feel like, and I
I
feel like I'm
feel
not getting a
fragmented.
full. Okay, this is good transference. Okay, so that's what I'm picking up. You feel fragmented. Tell me about the fragments then. What bits are you broken into?
Oh gosh. I have to think about that for a second. In a lot of ways, I still feel like leaving that place was like yesterday.
Okay, so you're still 1 foot over there.
Yeah.
So I'm making a picture on my piece of paper here. So we've got Scarlett, who's got 1 foot in
On the
the
campus.
religious community, the
Yes.
campus. Okay, let's put the campus. I
Yeah.
don't want to. Okay,
Yeah.
and then another part. What other part is
I
there
mean,
of
I
you?
still feel like another part is lodged on my parents' driveway.
What was the parents' driveway? Tell me about that.
That was the last time I saw him.
That was that moment when she wouldn't come near you.
Yeah.
Look at how much pain that brings you immediately. It's okay. Let it out. Let it exist.
it's just so, it was so weird, like knowing that was probably what would happen, and, but it
Yeah.
actually happened. Like you hoped that it
Right.
wouldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, you just hope you're wrong.
What did it prove to you? What did it give you evidence of?
That I wasn't crazy.
Okay. What else?
I mean, that my life was not what I thought it was. I feel like I feel like my whole existence has just been lies.
That is some big moment that your whole existence was lies.
Yeah.
Have you recognized the depth of that before? No.
No.
What's it like to recognize it now?
It's kind of actually relief just to say it. But
Yeah.
I also feel like I'm a toddler because I've like just started over the last 2 years.
Right. Which is a very short period of time.
Yeah.
So there's relief, but also a childlikeness to it. It's scary.
No, it's mostly
Okay.
good. I mean,
Mostly good.
I recognize like how fucked up it all is, and that it.
Hmm.
I mean, I wouldn't want to be there. I wouldn't want to stay there.
No, but we could want our parent to choose us instead of themselves.
Yeah, I think that's honestly the biggest thing that has just kind of blown my mind was just these parents who say that they love you, etc.
You know, there's something that think virtually anybody who goes no contact and there's no pushback against that finds. There is something so very, very devastating about how easily they let you go, how much they would rather defend themselves, their right to whatever it is they think they're entitled to, their ego, their power, how they would choose that, how that is more important to them than us as their children.
Yeah,
And it is soul destroying because in that moment when that happens, when they won't look at you, they walk away, they don't ask you, why aren't you talking to me? Why? They don't ask you, what can we do to make this better? In that moment, everything that we ever feared is proven true in that they don't and never did love us the way we needed to be loved.
yeah,
They are more important than we are to themselves, and or their need to be right is more important than we are. And that is the bit that is so utterly devastating, that in order to protect their need to be right, they are willing to cut ties
yeah,
with their child. That is
yeah.
just such huge grief in that moment. That moment she walked away. And now, as I'm saying that to you, and you think about that pain of her not looking, is that hitting? Is that what you're feeling as well?
I actually feel lighter having heard you say that.
Right. Okay.
It's
So there's
strange.
something validating in that.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is so strange because it's been like, I mean, the whole grieving people who are alive.
Yeah, like it's devastatingly painful.
Yeah,
It's even worse when it's your parent. But it wasn't just your parents,
No.
it was your sibling as well and his family.
Yeah.
They are so intent on protecting mothers'
Oh,
need to
very.
be right.
And my grandmother.
Oh, and your, geez Louise, chuck them all in. So they're all
Yeah.
so willing.
She played flying monkey for a while, and finally I just couldn't do it anymore with her either. And
Okay.
I got some real clarity in some conversations with her, and my mother made a whole lot more sense.
I mean, I suppose that's helpful, but is
I mean,
it?
it sucks because she was like my favorite grandma since day one.
Right.
Yeah,
So she was safety
absolutely.
until she chose not to be.
Yeah.
There's just so much grief in that. And you actually told me off camera before we started, off camera, before we start, sound like I'm on like, I don't know, the BBC or something. You told me before we started recording that you've actually got therapy today after this afternoon.
Yes.
So like
Oh
walking in
gosh.
primed, thank goodness, because we are pulling out some really significant grief here.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you might have been so busy trying to keep on top of everyone and everything that you haven't had a chance to kind of even notice it's there to
I've
this
really
degree.
struggled even knowing how to even approach it.
Okay. Hence fragmented selves.
Yeah.
Okay. Just that, actually, just out of interest, how fragmented are you still feeling now?
Less.
Less.
Yeah.
Okay. What fragments have we got left?
Probably still just dealing with like my personal family, like my immediate family.
Okay. So tell me a bit about what the fragment of that is doing or saying or needing or lacking or.
With with my family at home, so my kids and my husband, it's just trying. I feel like I'm just constantly trying how to not be what I know.
Oh, okay. So it's the thing of parenting from a different blueprint, but you haven't got the blueprint, so you
Yeah,
don't know how to parent from that. So all you know is not to do what was done to you.
yeah, and I haven't been able to like I mean I read constantly and I read all these articles, but I've never been able to bridge that gap between like a
Like,
extremely authoritarian type
uh,
parenting to I mean like my goal at first was to like I just can't do that.
okay,
Um,
yeah,
so
fair.
like the spanking and all that kind of stuff. Like that's just what I grew up with. And that was just the
Mm,
way everything was done. And I always was in I mean I realize it now like for the longest time like I've never had a great relationship with my family, but I would have said that I had a good childhood, etc. And I was like, oh, my parents are so
mm,
great. Like they're really good people and they do all these things. But like now the hindsight is there and
mm, mm.
and I can see all of the craziness and that what I thought was okay was super not okay.
Well,
Um,
and that's just it, right? Because normal is normal. You don't
yeah,
know it's not normal if you don't know, and especially if other people around you are reinforcing it or experiencing the same thing.
yes.
And if you're in
Oh,
some sort of religious cult community and everyone is experiencing this kind of behavior, it's normal, and therefore your reaction to the behavior is the problem rather than the behavior itself,
oh yeah,
right?
yes,
So you're kind of stuck in a place of, I know I don't want to be like them,
yeah,
but I also don't know how to be What is it that you don't know?
Well, how I don't feel like I've gotten to a place where I can like I have gotten to like where I've done a lot better. Like I really was able to self-regulate more, but in the last, I don't know, 6 months or so, or maybe even a year, since all this has happened, it's just like I'm coming up against a wall where I'm meeting my own emotional break. Like I
Right.
like I'm just hitting a wall and I can't regulate anymore.
Is
Um,
that
or I
is
don't
that
even know if
because
I
of
was
what's
regulating
been?
before as much as I was just not
Ah,
reacting.
and now this was where I was coming to. Is it that you just didn't notice it before, or is it
I don't think I could. Like I wasn't in a place
right?
where I really could. Otherwise, I was just trying to hold it together.
Okay, so you were the swan. And do you know the whole thing about the
No.
analogy of the swan? Okay, the idea that the swans they're so graceful swimming on the pond. Do you have
Yeah.
swans where you are?
Yeah.
Do you? Yeah, I know. I just suddenly realised like
Occasionally. I
maybe
don't
this
see
is
them.
like a
I love them. Beautiful, but I don't see them very often.
oh well, they're super dangerous. Don't go too close to them
Okay.
because they'll break your arm. But it's the threat that everyone says. I don't know how true. Actually, I mean it is true, but it's also like okay. No, they're really quite territorial and dangerous, so you mustn't go near them. But they swim along the lake looking absolutely gorgeous, and they're all serene and beautiful. But underneath, it's like paddle, 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 paddle. So
Yes.
nobody sees the underneath,
Yeah.
right? And so you look like I've got all my shit together. I'm running this house. There's 4 children. I've got it. I'm going. I'm da 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 da. But underneath, it's like, oh my god, this is all crazy and everything's on
Utter
fire. And
chaos.
okay, yeah,
Yeah.
right. Is
Yeah.
that feeling a bit
Yes.
just yeah, okay. Interesting. Okay, so you've got the fragment of parenting you, your parents, that your life was a lie and you didn't know what it was. You've got one foot still stuck in that campus life, the whole life of that. Huh. Okay, the reason I laughed is because I've just seen a little
Oh,
link and I wonder. Any other fragments?
I can't think of any.
Okay. Husband, wife, being a wife,
Yeah. Yes.
right? What's in that fragment?
Well, most of the time I don't feel like a wife.
Interesting. So you have this ooh, okay. So you have this title of wife,
Yeah.
but you don't actually feel connected to it because you don't feel like a wife.
Yeah. I feel like I'm the parent.
Okay. So don't what would you need to feel like a wife?
Like more communication
Okay.
for me not to like have to ask just to figure out what's going on, like even on the calendar or financially or like his own intern like talk to me about your things too. Like just be emotionally intimate.
So connection,
Yeah.
not having to do all the emotional, mental load, labor
Yeah.
of running the kids in the house.
Yeah.
You said he works nights,
Yeah.
and what does that mean in terms of time together during the day or like mornings or evenings?
We get a decent amount during the evenings
Okay.
because he's the way that his schedule runs, he's like of the 14 days, he's only on shift for 7. Um,
Right.
so there is some time in there. It still can be difficult, especially with like the kids' schedules and sports.
I mean, you've got teens as well, so they're up,
Yeah,
like, they don't go to bed when you're what? It's not like you put them to bed at 7 anymore, is it? And you go,
right,
ah.
right.
Grown-ups time. So romantic time, none, or some,
Not
or
often.
okay. And I don't mean like sex. I mean just like being a
Right,
couple.
right.
Like not getting a lot of that.
Not tons. Part of that is, like just like financially, that has been a big piece of our story because of
Okay.
like the campus experience.
Hmm.
They always were extremely financially abusive, and so leaving there has just been us having to start from ground zero or the basement, uh,
Oh, bless
which
you.
has just been, I mean, obviously, like financial difficulties are very difficult. But I
Yeah.
feel like this is like kind of has more layers to it than maybe what others
Well,
might.
because you've got every time you struggle, you're reminded that the reason you're struggling is because of what they did.
Yeah,
So it becomes a trigger as well as a like it's a
yeah,
haunting and a grief and a trauma.
yeah. There's
Okay,
lots of triggers there.
right. What about you yourself as an individual who isn't a parent, isn't a wife, isn't anything, is just Scarlett? The way you looked at me then was very interesting. And obviously, we don't use your video, so nobody else is going to
I
understand that.
know.
But it was a real like, oh, Helen, why did you fucking ask me that? That was what that felt like a little bit. Is that what it felt like on your end?
Uh,
Because I can
I
read
just
social cues wrong too, so don't
yeah,
worry about
no.
like if I've got that
Yeah,
wrong.
no, you are not wrong. Um,
Okay.
I sometimes I feel like
Mm.
I know me, but I'm still finding
Yeah.
her.
Okay. Tell me about that pain. What wound is that touching?
I've never been allowed to be anything but what everyone else thought I should be.
Okay.
So
So the
yeah, that
biggest
whole
fragment.
appearance and doing everything on the outside, doing it right and looking perfect or put together.
Swanning all over the place. So
I mean, the only progress I've made is that I paint out my house the colors I want, and now I dress like I
amazing.
want.
Amazing. I
Uh,
did notice the amazing colour. I'm not even going to name it because it will be identifying, but the colour
but
behind
this
you on
is
the
not
wall.
even
And
mine.
it's, but either way, the fact that it's allowed
Yeah,
is the thing,
it
right? Because a lot
it's
of
all
parents,
over the place.
oh my God, it's gorgeous.
You're allowed to
It's
have a throw up
gorgeous.
of personality in this house.
Right. Amazing, right?
Yeah,
But it sounds like you don't know what your personality is.
no.
Okay.
Like
So I
sometimes I
come back
think
to
I
this.
do, and I feel like a ping pong in it.
Right. Tell me about where the ping pong goes. What does it bounce against?
I always feel like when I come up on like things that I really like, the wall that I hit is the too much wall.
Hmm. Too much as in too much, not enough. I'm always too much. Or
But yeah, too much, not enough. Too much this, not enough that. Too loud, not quite enough.
do you know that when we wrote the book, You're Not the Problem,
Uh,
I that because I'd always thought that if I ever got round to doing a book, that was what it was going to be called
yeah,
for children of narcissistic parents. Too much, never enough.
yes,
Because that is literally the experience summed up. Is that you're asking for too much all the time, but you're never giving enough either, right? So, but what you're actually doing is giving your entire being and asking for the smallest little atom of a breadcrumb. But the
yeah,
minute you do that, oh my God, you're so selfish. How could you? Who do you think you are? You want
yeah,
a breadcrumb? Oh my God, you greedy pig, right?
yeah,
It's this like awful, awful thing of you can never give what they're asking for, but were you to ever ask for a tiniest fraction of what they demand, You are the worst human in the world that ever existed.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like for me, I was always just, I mean, definitely minimizing myself. One of the few things my dad said to me that he didn't really talk a whole lot was that, and it was very in a negative way. He said that I was a chameleon and
Hmm.
that I was never the same way with depending on who I was with, I was a different person.
And he never thought to ask himself, why might my child feel like she needs to morph into somebody that they might find acceptable, that whoever, dependent on who she's talking to? He never thought,
Oh
maybe I
no,
should.
we didn't
No, no.
really have we didn't really have much of a relationship anyway, so
Well, it
that
doesn't
was like,
matter. The
yeah,
point,
it doesn't matter.
the no, the point is, he blamed you for developing a trauma coping mechanism, because that's what that is when we become those chameleons. He blamed you for developing a mechanism that was to survive the environment you were in.
Yeah.
Because you were so used to being rejected, shamed, abandoned, humiliated, threatened with God knows what by the religious aspect, right?
Yep.
He was so used to
It was always
um,
about like how the outside looked. It was like you had to be this picture perfect
hmm,
Christian little girl who couldn't be worldly and couldn't have curves, but I had them, so
oh, so you're not allowed hips and boobs or a bum, or
no,
because you're
that gets you in a lot of
tempting
trouble.
men? Well, then stop using their genes to make you. Like,
Yeah.
sorry, I don't know if you ever watch the true crime stuff I do. We do get a bit heated about the whole religion because it's ludicrous,
Yeah,
quite honestly,
it is.
the constraints. So you're ping-ponging between too much, never enough.
Yeah.
So then my question is, whose standards are we using to measure whether you're too much or not enough?
I mean, most of the time that it's a problem is because it's someone else's standard,
100%, but whose are they?
not mine.
Okay.
I don't know.
What now? You don't know
I mean,
but
like
somebody
the
else's.
church's standards, I know a lot of it is like, it's my mom coming in my head. Um,
Okay.
I, I mean, that's where all like the fat phobia and then all that kind of came from. And
Okay.
yeah, yeah, that's a really big one.
The fat phobia,
Yeah,
or your mum, or
both.
both. Okay, both. When you talk about being too much, if we're looking at what's in the bowl of like the things that you are too much at or about, what might those be?
Well, early on, it was I might be too fat if I ate this or that or too much, whatever.
Okay, so
Also,
too fat, take up too much space,
yeah,
too big. Okay, cool. Next, sorry, go on. Sorry, I interrupted you.
the other end of that was that I was too, too sexy, too sexual. I mean, because I was like, I mean, back in the day, I had like a great hourglass figure, and I was very early developed. So like by 14, I was
Right.
my full height, and I looked
Okay.
very womanly.
If you're scared of rejection, of saying no, have no idea how to trust people, you're not alone, and you don't have to heal alone either. That's what the Hub is for. It's a membership community designed for survivors just like you. Every month, we dive into powerful courses, we hold live calls, and connect in a supportive, understanding space so you can break free from the past and build healthy, fulfilling relationships. Maybe it's time to stop surviving and instead start thriving. Visit jointhehub.ac today using the code POD20 to get £20 off your first month's membership. I can't wait to see you there. Take care. Bye. And you're very beautiful. And I know other people can't see you, but I can. And you are. You're very beautiful. Amazing bone structure.
Thank you.
And I notice how uncomfortable you're feeling. And I'm just, what happened there?
It's uncomfortable, yes. I really, really struggle with that. Like what I have tried to work on is when someone compliments me to just say thank you
Good work. Good
and
work.
just end of story.
Can I help you with that even further? Would it be okay
Sure.
if I just pull that? One of the things I love to offer to like hub members, clients, whoever I'm speaking to, who struggle to hear compliments, because same, it's a bit awkward because it means somebody's like looking at you and you're like, they've noticed stuff about you. And if you're someone who's used to hiding everything and suddenly someone goes, oh my God, you look amazing. It's like, oh no, you've seen I've got a shirt on or whatever. Like it's, because, you know, and we say thank you. There's this knee-jerk thing to reject it, to go, oh, what, this old thing? No, oh, God, you know, to minimize their compliment. And you're amazing for kind of trying to push yourself to just accept and say thank you. The other thing to add into that when you're sitting in that discomfort is just imagine what it's like for them to offer this insight of how they're being vulnerable by saying, I like what you look like. I'm sharing a preference with you, a vulnerability, an inside kind of experience of you with you. And that's really vulnerable making. And were you to turn around and kind of go, oh, this old thing, I'll knock it back or reject it, you're kind of shaming them a little bit.
Yeah.
You're silencing them. And
No,
actually you're
I hear
rejecting
that.
them. Right? Because it is, I mean, I know personally from my own experience, but also my clinical like world experience, that we can find it very difficult to say, oh, I really like your shoes, because we might be seen to be, especially if you grow up around these narratives of being too much and sexualized and whatever, that they might think that we fancy them or that we're coming on to them or that we're revealing something. And so to be actually really brave enough to go, I love your dress, it's really gorgeous, you look amazing, can be quite a big thing for someone to share. And so we have to try.
Yeah.
If we can't do it for ourselves, and I don't always want us doing things for other people, but if it's just a little bit easier to go, say thank you, otherwise you're being a bit of a dick to this person. If it's easier to just frame it that way, just, there you go. There's like a little, what's it called, loophole to just make it a little bit easier to say thank you.
I actually do compliment people when I like what I see. And again, that's part of something that I work on. I'm like, I know as hard as it is to receive something, it does make me feel good. But like when people say like I'm pretty or something like that, it feels like there's a roadblock.
Well, I mean, you got in trouble for being sexual.
Yeah. And so for me, it's like if I'm if that's what they're saying, then I'm in trouble.
Yeah, because you've done something to provoke it. You're wanton,
Yes.
right? That you're lustful, pride. You know, we get those 7 sins going.
Oh.
We can find quite a few, right?
Oh, for sure. But yeah, for me, it was always like that I was conceited, supposedly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So prideful and smug, and I want to be looked at like that.
Yeah.
Which you've been told makes you a terrible, terrible human being. But it's ridiculous, right? Because this is a bit about that whole narrative that makes no sense. They want us to marry and populate and recreate, but they don't want us to be sexual or look attractive, because then people might want to have sex with us and procreate.
Yes.
So
but also like behind closed doors, you're a Playboy bunny for them.
Oh, and you should know how to do every single thing,
Yeah.
even though nobody talks about it, and you should know all how it works, and
Have no shame.
have no shame and do everything that is asked of you because that's your job as a wife.
Yeah.
Right. Too much, not enough.
Yeah.
There's a reason it's confusing. Because you're told you're not allowed to be pretty, but also that you have to be pretty. So
Well, not
isn't
too
it
pretty.
interesting? What you're if you eat that, you'll be too fat, but also you're too sexual.
Yes.
You've got so, but if you're slim, then you'll be too attractive.
Yes.
So where's the logic,
Yeah.
right? So no wonder you ping pong, because it's like there's no real
Don't play like there's a place to land.
right. There's the sands are constantly shifting.
Yeah.
So imagine, for example, you had been super slim and quite, I don't know what even acceptable boob size would be, but like, say you're like, I don't know, a B cup, all right, right? A B cup, and you're, I don't know what US sizes are, but say you're like a size 6 to 8, that's quite slim, isn't it?
Very,
In the
yeah.
States?
Yeah.
Right, okay. What would you have been told then?
At that point, I would have just been completely sexualized, and like my clothing would have been even more under scrutiny.
Whatever you did,
Yeah. No, it didn't matter what
you
I
were
did. It was
sexualized.
wrong. Yeah.
So if you were thin, you were sexualized. If you had smaller boobs, you were sexualized. If you had big boobs and curves and hips, you're sexualized. You're not allowed to be fat
Yeah.
because they want to be able to sexualize you, but you're not allowed to be sexualized,
Yes.
right? I've got a funny feeling the problem is not within your body, more the eyes that are looking upon it, right? Because if people are looking at a child, a girl, and saying these things about their body at 14 years old,
Younger.
that is revolting. And younger. Well, I've no doubt, but I knew for a fact, I was
Yeah,
hazarding
for a
a guess
fact.
because I knew that you'd said 14.
Yeah.
So they're telling a child not to be too sexual,
Yeah.
but also that they want to be desirable too.
Yes.
Okay. That is fucked up and not about you in any way, shape, or form, right? Which I'm sure you know, but it's that kind of, I feel like I want to really reinforce I want to say all different words, illogicality of it, that's not even a word, it being so ludicrous, the nonsensicalness of it, that like it's just fucking stupid,
Yeah.
right?
It is. It's a
And
complete
it's
mind
all
fuck.
about control. Well, right, and because it's control.
Yeah.
Because what controls people better than anything else is instability.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what's stable and reliable, you can't operate without. You're always going to get in trouble, which means they can always punish you, always shame you, which means you're always scared of getting punished and shamed, which means you don't move. Oh, look, they've got full control. Right?
It's very accurate.
Right.
Yeah.
So when it comes then to Scarlett being Scarlett, but also Scarlett being a wife, how I don't know if the wife bit's are actually relevant, but they're kind of, it's more about the embodiment of self, of who you are, and knowing, like you said about being able to dress, because this all started because I said you were beautiful, and like how you've got amazing bone structure, and and then we talked about compliments and stuff, but we were talking about you being able to know who you are, and that feels quite out of reach still.
Yeah, it varies from time to time. And I mean, I listen, like I said, I listen to you a lot, and I hear you talk about identity, and
Hmm.
I I still feel lost on that one. Like where to even
Okay.
start, like for me.
Right. The first thing, the, so I really strongly believe, and I recognize that this is my bias, but I truly believe that everything comes back to you knowing who you are.
Yeah,
Because if you know that, then you know which way you're going, you know what your boundaries are, you know when someone crosses your boundaries. You won't be able to ignore when someone crosses your boundaries, therefore you can trust yourself and therefore
yeah.
stay safe, basically. And knowing who we are, think about your own children. How might they have kind of built identity for themselves? And how might they be doing that now, even?
I mean, that's actually something I feel like I tried to do for them, was let them be
Okay,
who they wanted to be. Um,
okay.
like even as early as then, I knew I didn't want to, and that I had a roadmap of what not to
Mm,
do.
right, right,
Um,
right.
However, I was, still in the religious community slash cults that we were in, and so there was still a lot of behavioral control. Um,
I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt you. Every time we've talked about it, I'm just going to read your. Every time we've talked about it, you say community cult campus. There's never one word. I don't think. I might be wrong, so I can take that back. But
it's
because when
still
you call
really
it
hard for me to call it
community,
a flat out cult because I
right?
mean,
Why?
because I still see like good people.
Okay,
It places my whole family in it.
okay. So if you call it a
I'm still a little bit
community slash,
afraid of it. Like I don't I don't want that I don't want people to think badly of me still, even though I think they're crazy.
okay, people in that
Yeah,
situation.
yeah,
So you qualify it by you minimize it with those qualifications by kind of community cult campus
yeah.
because there's some grief attached to the people that are in it. And is it feeling a bit black and white that if you call it a cult, then everyone in it must be bad?
Maybe, yeah.
Okay, because that's not true, is it?
No.
Good people get caught in cults,
I mean, I was there.
right? So, right,
Yeah,
which is I'm going to highlight that to you, which means you know you're a good person in your core,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Did you hear what you just said?
I do now.
Right? You were super blasé, like, well, yeah, I was in it, and it was like, well, that means you know you're good in my head. I got very excited for you. So you inherently know you're a good person, that you're not a bad person.
Yeah,
You didn't realize that, no?
not ever that straightforward.
No. Okay. You seem a bit shocked.
Yeah,
What's
yeah.
happening?
I just always have seen myself as the bad guy, that I'm hurting people and making life difficult for everyone else.
By meeting your own needs and protecting your family.
Yeah, like even when I
Qualify.
would on purpose do stuff for me and refuse to be like controlled by them, I still felt like I was making it hard for, even my family because,
Right.
you know,
Because,
because that Jezebel mom on campus.
right. Who taught you to believe that?
I mean, that's all I've ever believed from the
Which
beginning. It was
means
my
someone must
parents.
have taught you that. Right.
My parents.
And how did it benefit them to make you think that way?
I fell into line a lot easier.
Sure did. Much easier to control.
And I got to be the trophy when it was convenient,
Right.
which they kept doing to my
So,
kids. So,
right. And yet, there is a part of you that absolutely fundamentally knows you are a good human being.
yeah,
Okay. That's pretty powerful.
yeah,
Okay. So, yeah, it feels like if you think of it as it is, as a cult, that makes everyone in it bad. But we know that that's not true. Good people get caught into cults all the time. I mean, literally anybody can be
yeah,
convinced into joining cults. I've seen it happen in my family. You know, there's a lot of research that shows how easily we are influenced into it.
yeah. I
But
mean, I was
every
born
time
there.
you... Sorry?
I was born there.
Right. You were born there. People had to join, surely, at some point
Yeah,
as well. Yeah. So you were born into it. You didn't get a choice
no,
until you were old enough to choose to leave, when you were strong enough,
yeah,
when it was important enough, and you did.
yeah,
Pretty fucking amazing.
yeah,
So what we know then about you is A, that you're a good person, B, that you don't want to be controlled,
no,
that C, it's important that people have a voice and an opinion and be heard, that D, children should be loved and cared for and not made to feel shame or do other people's bidding.
yeah.
E, that you like justice, maybe?
Oh, yeah,
Justice is, yeah, okay, so fairness is important. That maybe F, maybe that power isn't something you seek and nobody should have it over you either.
yeah,
Equality in your relationship, your
yeah,
marriage. Can you see how much identity you actually have?
yeah.
Okay.
Now that you've named them all like that.
Right. This is the thing to do, is to know, like, what do I know about myself? Like, I know I'm kind, I'm caring, I'm compassionate. I know me personally, I can be a bit impatient, but I also can be patient when I need to be. I know that I'm thoughtful, I'm considerate, but that I'm no longer willing to sacrifice myself for the comfort of other people. That direct communication is really important. I know all these different things, right? And that's where we want to get you to, because the link that I was rightfully smiling about earlier
Yes.
was all about, I don't know who I am without those things, without those rules, without them telling me who I am.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm doing it right without those things either.
I think that part is what really hits.
Okay. I don't know if I'm doing it right without all of them telling me that I am. How often did you actually hear that you were doing it right? Like, you're a little like, what, Helen? Don't be ridiculous. Well, every now and
Um,
again, sometimes they throw people bones like, oh, you're such a good mum, or stuff like that, to breadcrumb, I guess.
no.
No, didn't get that.
No. Yeah. My mom was just like, I don't know how you have so much patience. I would have not been able to handle these kids.
Such a backhanded compliment. Your kids are really fucking annoying,
Yeah.
is essentially what she was saying.
Yes. Oh yeah. She made it clear. But also, I miss you. I want
Okay.
to see the kids.
And then when you got there,
I mean, they'd be okay for a while. I mean, they would have some good times.
when you say a while, what is a while?
Uh, well, we lived like a couple hours away from them for like 10 years, so we would like spend like overnight.
Right.
And I mean, I was ready to leave by the end of the weekend.
How
Uh,
long was it before she started snapping about them?
well, she just always prided herself on not spoiling them. So she treated them like they were like her, like me and my brother. So, yeah.
What, so just park that for a sec. But how long after you arrived would it take for her to lose her rag with one of them? Snap,
Uh,
bite.
not long,
Hmm.
maybe an hour or two.
I'm even surprised it's that long because I would imagine it'd be
I
like,
think
get
I'm
that in
being
from the
generous.
car.
I think I'm being
Right,
generous.
okay. Right. And you said she didn't, she prided herself on not spoiling them, treated them like her own. But the whole point of being a grandparent
Yeah,
is you get to do that. You get to do that spoiling, right?
yeah.
I watched a TikTok yesterday and it made me really emotional. And I might even get emotional talking about it right now.
Yeah.
But the TikTok was a grandmother who had set up Camp Babs, where she had her grandchildren coming to stay. She's got a huge following on TikTok. I've never heard of her before.
Oh,
And they're by a lake, and she's got like activities, and like it just looks literally like a summer camp that over here we only see in the movies, like in what's that one with the Parent Trap, you know, when they're
oh
doing
yeah, yeah,
kayaking and like, oh my God, it looks amazing. And that's a grandmother for her grandchildren setting up
yeah,
this huge, like, my grandkids are coming. I've done all this stuff. Oh my God, I can't wait to just hang out and play.
yeah,
Toast marshmallows and make
yeah.
s'mores and all
She
that
likes
stuff,
to do
right?
some of that kind of stuff. Yeah, but yeah,
Right.
it would just it. You never know when it's gonna pop up.
So instability
Yeah,
again. So the children never know we're going to have a nice time or not
and it
nice
was
time.
always better if like my husband and I were there or I was there. Like the real crap happened when we weren't there.
Right. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a little conscious of our time because I feel like we
Yeah.
could carry on for ages, but
Oh yeah.
I'm I want to go back to the very first question I asked you about what you wanted to leave here with today. And we talked a bit about your daughter and parenting and her triggering you and everything else. And we can go back to that,
Hmm.
absolutely. But I just wonder if that goal might have changed at all, if there's anything else you need and what that might be.
Yeah, I think like getting myself back on track is probably
Okay.
more primary.
Okay.
Yeah.
Getting yourself back on track. What track were we talking about?
Honestly, just like recalibrating to where I know I am,
Okay.
like being able to articulate my needs.
Okay. What stops you doing that now?
I still get, I still struggle just saying what I need.
Do you know what they are, what you do need? Do you know how to identify them?
generally speaking, I know when I start getting really upset that, I mean, it comes straight to mind, like because I'm mad about it not happening,
Right.
like
Right.
not getting like the partnership that I need or the communication that I need or support that I need.
Right.
Yeah.
There was something you said earlier that was really striking around, the idea that you gave up so much for your husband.
Yeah.
You've sacrificed a lot for him.
Yeah.
And now you feel like you're very much on your own in the parenting role,
Yeah.
household, maybe even running role. And that is a space in which resentment can grow incredibly quickly
Yep.
because I'm doing it all on my own. I'm not getting any support. How dare you? Where are you? Oh my God, you can't even unload the goddamn dishwasher without me telling you to. Right?
Yeah.
Which is valid, by the way. No judgment on
Yeah.
that.
He actually does that.
Oh, okay, fair play. Good work. But also not good work. It's the bare bloody minimum. Like, let's raise that bar.
Yeah.
Like, you live in the house, you contribute to it, right? So the relationship with your husband, looking at what needs are not being met there,
Hmm.
that will help you have capacity to parent the children.
Yeah.
If the status quo has to stay as it is, even if it's things like throughout the day, you're sending in voice notes of the things that have come up around challenges or organizational things, just so that he is part of the day. So he recognizes and sees how much you're doing.
Yeah.
So yes, so you actively involving him in the day. Because there's this thing that can happen when we grow up in these systems where we expect our partner, because we've been taught that this is what we should be doing for if we really love them,
Right.
to mind read,
Yep.
right? And to just know that we need this doing, that doing, support, care, asking, or a tea made, or whatever it might be, right?
Yeah.
We want them to know it without us telling them it, which is not reasonable,
Right.
right?
Right.
Because that is a standard that was set by toxic people who say, if you really loved me, I wouldn't have to tell you.
Yeah.
That was a big sigh. Is that a familiar phrase?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the way that I grew up was like the way that you showed someone you love them was very visible. Like you made them happy in some way or another by what you did for them.
So, servitude.
Yeah.
If I asked you, this is going to throw a cat amongst the pigeons in the audience. Oh, God. I keep lying my neck on the line and just going, go on, someone, chop me off. Okay, if I asked you, what is your love language? What would you tell me?
I mean, acts of service.
Right. What was not done for you a lot as a child?
I had to figure out everything for myself, so not much.
Acts of service by any chance? Did you get help? Did you get support? Did you get someone bringing you a tea or a cup of, or a drink or a... No.
No.
Very often what I'm finding is that our love language, because I don't really believe in them,
I
but our
don't
love
at all.
language is actually... Okay, good. Okay,
I think
at least I've got one
bullshit.
person on side. Like, okay, cool.
No.
Love languages are childhood deficit wounds,
Yes.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
And when you are, if acts of service is your love language, that's because that was not met for you, and someone taught you that that's what love should be.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
However, acts of service is all well and good It's not a problem that that might be there, but it's knowing that the wound behind them might be saying, well, it's not good enough. They haven't done it properly. They didn't think that through properly.
Yeah.
And so they therefore don't love you. And we're looking for reasons and evidence that they don't love us. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Communication with your husband works two ways. He is not going to know you feel this unless you're explaining that to him.
Right.
And that means being vulnerable with him. But it also means you knowing that that is what you need, or what it is that you need, right?
Yeah.
So then I'm actually going to ask a different question as we come to wrapping it up.
Okay.
And that is, what are you taking away from our time together today?
Well, I really feel like I've had some puzzle pieces come together in the fragmentation.
Yeah.
That was really huge. I'm having a hard time even moving past that.
That's okay.
Yeah.
If that's all there is, then that's good. Because each of those fragments are bits of you that need to reintegrate.
Yeah. And also like just realizing
or
that
get left behind.
Yeah. But realizing that I've really just mostly been numb and not regulated.
Right. Numb is still a feeling.
Yeah.
And usually when we're feeling numb, we're in shock, which actually means we're very dysregulated.
Yeah.
Right? Which means we're going to be quick to flip in our own switches.
Yeah.
Okay. The biggest moment for me in this whole piece, and it's not mine, so this is just my, you don't have to have it, this is just me. The moment that I said to you, you know you're a good person.
Yes.
That was undeniable proof that at your core, regardless of everything they've told you, you know that you are a good person.
Yeah.
And imagine that managed, that little seed, that little ember managed to stay alive through all of this shit.
Yeah.
They never managed to put it out.
Yeah.
Before we finish, Scarlett, is there anything else that you wish to ask me, you need from me at all?
I can't think of anything, honestly.
That's okay. If something pops in, just ping me an email. I know, yes. Right? So it was really funny because before we started and I asked you, like, have you got a goal? And you said, no, not really. And like, we tried to pull one together and then actually sometimes, this is why sometimes when we go to therapy, not knowing what we're going to talk about, we can just uncover so much. And all right, you and I might have been quite fragmented, and I'm sure people will be like, oh my God, that's all over the place. And I'm going to go, but it's not. The seam of this entire session has been about you and who you are, in amongst all this noise of people telling you who you have to be and who you should be and who you have to be if you're going to be acceptable. And where it has contradicted or complemented you. And the thing for you now is to silence that noise and just look at what's actually there.
Yeah.
You know, and not have to be a swan all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. If questions pop in, you just let me know and I will ping back to you as and when I can. And, you know, that is, amazing.
Yes. Thank you so much.
My absolute pleasure. Thank you for coming on. Good luck with the therapy.
Thank you.
You know where I am if you need me. And just what an honour to do that with you. And
thank you so much.
Just such a pleasure. Thank you. So I guess, as ever, all that remains to be said is take care. Bye.
Bye.